Thank you, and happy birthday to Pecha Kucha. So I'm part of a group called ESC, and I work with Scott Gordon, Sam Anand, and Craig Gallagher. And I'm going to talk about a project tonight called Resono, and that's all about kind of activating different kinds of spaces. So you can hear some of our piece of music that we worked on. So as a human race, we've always been fascinated and drawn to different types of sound. So in the RC Circure caves in France, they found that these cave paintings were actually situated in particularly resonant locations. So over the last 2 years, I've been working in ESC, and we've been going around different locations and different acoustics, kind of fantastic places all around Scotland that have got amazing kind of like resonance. And we've been going in there and doing recordings and trying to capture what the characteristics are of the space. So this is from a film, Prometheus, where they kind of send these puppies into the space, into a cave, and sort of map the space. So we've been doing that, but we're doing it with sound, and then we've been using a piece of technology called impulse response. And to do that, we've actually then work in the studio to then create a sound that's specific to that kind of acoustic. So one of the locations, you might recognize where this is over in Wormit in Fife. And this is actually a reservoir which is in someone's back garden. And what we've been doing is taking the speaker system and going down into the reservoir, and this is what it actually looks like underneath. And it's got this amazing kind of luscious echo in there. And yeah, just the way that the sound kind of plays against all of those columns and kind of bounces around the space. It goes on for like 30 seconds. It's just got this amazing like way of, understanding like the air that's around you and how sound behaves like that. Another place that we've gone to is also the Tugnet Ice House up in Spey Bay. So that's got this kind of really interesting kind of former use of storing ice for when there was fishing, and in the actual kind of vaulted room in there as well, like the different spaces, they've got these how you could kind of place the speakers within that vaulted space and move around the space and kind of really appreciate how the kind of frequencies bounce between as you're moving inside the vaulted kind of area. We also was lucky enough to go over to the Isle of Egg, and we went to the cathedral caves. So again, kind of drawn back to the caves, bit of a theme. But this was actually a tidal cave where we were fortunate to go in when the tide was out with the speakers, do some recordings, and luckily we got out before the sea came back in. It would have been rubbish, to be honest. We had a sort of sound system, but the batteries would have run out, and we would have been quite bored for a while. But yeah, like actually stepping back from the cave with it making noise, it was just like this kind of gramophone, and almost just this incredible sort of singing cave. So a huge part of what we're doing in the project is also public performances. So earlier this year in kind of May and June, we worked in the St Mary's Cathedral, and then also the Cooper Silo in Fife. And it was really important for us to kind of get an audience in there. So in St Mary's Cathedral, was lucky to kind of tie in with the themed year of innovation and design and architecture, which is what we've just been having, and it's like incredible space inside there as well. Obviously it's been designed to kind of amplify sound and as that whole kind of part of kind of religious ritual, but activating for us this kind of social space as well, because it was on a Saturday night, and we got like this kind of completely different crowd that you would normally kind of get along to a church, and kind of filled it. So this is like really like the tip of the iceberg for the sound system that we actually brought in there. It was this huge kind of Meyer sound system that really sort of blasted and made the space like actually was kind of shaking the building and really kind of pumping the kind of energy through there to really kind of light it up. And again, the idea of like moving around the space, and because I guess as part of like a kind of normal ritual, you kind of sit in those rows. But the kind of getting on your feet and moving around again is a kind of fantastic way to kind of experience how the sound's performing. So back to the Cooper silo, and this is an incredible space just over in over in Fife. And we was actually, a lot of people complain about working in silos in organizations, but we actually enjoyed working in this silo. I think, we realized that the sort of attention to detail for kind of getting an audience in there, we really had to clean up the space. And on the Thursday night before the performance, we actually gave it all a big hoover. And we kind of realized the kind of level of detail that we're getting into when it was 1 o'clock on like a Thursday night, Friday morning. They kind of took the end of the hoover and started going around the edge, just like you would in your kind of home. So it was like really cared about getting people in. So we made it this kind of safe space to get a performance in there, and I feel like for that we've kind of enabled it as a kind of performance space, and I think they want to kind of have that as a kind of silo project and encourage more contemporary art in there. And luckily, like a label went and used it towards the end of August to put a performance in there. So again, sort of activating the space and sort of opening up for culture. So I think overall, next year we're going to be doing another performance over in the sort of Hamilton Mausoleum. Check out resino.co.uk. It's got a much better detail about each of the spaces we've been working in. And also, it was on the Janice Forsyth show, and there's a really kind of good explanation of the project from Sam and Craig. Cheers to Alt W. Thanks.
That's great. Thank you so much, Paul. What a lovely way to end, and sounds brilliant as well. Okay, that's us, I think. Oh.